Thank you, Chairman. Appreciate the chance to listen to each of you and to hear your perspectives and update on our systems. I'm curious as we begin, Mr. Hyson, do Mr. Armstrong and Mr. Oceanida both report to you? What is the organizational structure within DHS for the different the various agencies that are part of the entire entity?
Thank you, Ranking Member. Under the Federal IT Acquisition Reform Act, or FITARA, the component CIOs under DHS report into me. However, they also maintain a reporting structure into their component agencies.
So it's a matrix reporting system. Do they follow the same approach that you described? And I'm curious as to how widespread your approach is, which is you described, I'll call it the Big Bang approach, which is a big contract going out and waiting for a full system being delivered by an outside contractor, versus something now which is, I don't know how you describe it, incremental, which is you begin with a system and then add on to it as time goes on and improve it as time goes on. How much of what is being done follows the latter approach as opposed to the former Big Bang approach?
At this point, Ranking Member, agile delivery and this newer approach to modernization is widespread across DHS. This has been a journey over really the last decade. Some of our component agencies were earlier adopters of this approach. Some have made that transition more recently, but it is now the norm.
Do you know whether that's the case also more broadly through our government, or I mean, I presume you interact with CIOs and other departments as well. Is the agile approach being adopted more on a widespread basis?
I believe so. That's been a transition that has been discussed across the Federal CIO Council and among my colleagues over the last many years.
We have a history of spending a lot more than the private sector to get an updated modernization of our systems. Is that because of the prior approach, or is it just endemic to the way government works?
I believe it is in many ways tied to that approach. One of the results of that Big Bang approach with single system integrators was that every IT system would build everything from the ground up. They would have their own infrastructure, their own support teams, their own login systems, for example. And as we've moved to modernize, we're looking to break that down, offer up common enterprise services for common pieces of functionality. That was the norm, for example, when I worked in Silicon Valley, and enable each individual system to only focus on their unique functionality needs.
I can't resist asking you a personal question, which is, you were in Silicon Valley. I read stories about the billionaires that are, that pop like popcorn in Silicon Valley. What led you to leave Silicon Valley and go to work in the government? Are you happy you made that decision? And are you looking for a ticket back, or is this
No.
Is this a responsibility that you particularly feel is important and that you enjoy?
No, sir, I'm not looking for a ticket back. I have been thrilled to make this transition. I come from a family of public servants. My father is a retired public servant at the General Services Administration, and was, when the healthcare.gov disaster occurred in 2014, was looking at the work I was doing in Silicon Valley and saw the opportunity to use my skills for a bigger purpose. So I was thrilled to be able to co-found the U.S. Digital Service, and have since helped recruit dozens of other technologists from the private sector into government, and look to bring on many more in the years to come.
Very much appreciate that as a citizen. You described the priorities that the chairman asked about which systems you modernize. And it struck me that one of those was perhaps the highest, which is protecting national security, protecting personal information that individuals might have, that there's a high degree of sensitivity there. Are we fully modernized in that category, or are we still operating some legacy systems that present a real risk either to national security or to the personal privacy of our citizens?
Senator, we certainly have more work to do. Several of the systems that my colleagues here have mentioned do present cybersecurity risks through the ongoing operation of our legacy systems, and we are focused on modernizing those as rapidly as possible.
And let me turn now to something I mentioned in my opening statement, which is AI and the impact of AI on your respective responsibilities. I'm I'm aware of the writing today and the discussion about how vulnerable we are to machine learning to be able to break into our systems. What is your sense of that? What are we going to need to do to protect the most critical information that we have from attack from malign interests that would seek to undermine our national security or our personal privacy?
Ranking Member, thank you. As you noted, AI presents significant opportunities in modernizing our systems as well as better harnessing AI to advance our mission delivery. But the risk of adversarial use of AI is real, as is the risk of disparate bias or unintended disparate impact from our use of AI. So Secretary Mayorkas recently launched a department-wide AI task force that I am co-chairing along with our Undersecretary for Science and Technology that is looking at exactly those questions. We are still early in our work, but are taking this work very seriously and have it as a major focus for the year to come.
Maybe it's a conjecture at this point, but any sense of what we might need to do to protect critical information from an AI attack? I mean, do we need to almost go offline in some respects with some databases? Or I mean, I just wonder how you can protect our systems given the power of an AI approach.
Well, Senator, one area I'd start with is a little more basic than that, is even AI literacy among our employees and those with access to our data. We expect to see an increasing number of AI-generated phishing emails that are attempting to trick our employees and other users into giving up information, and we need to be able to ensure that our employees know what AI is capable of and are on the lookout as they are executing their responsibilities first.
Thank you.